lovely people, here we are again.
Greetings, everybody. Guess who it is?
Forever awesome!
Forever awesome. In the house. But as usual, outside of the house.
Outside the house.
Outside of the house.
And there was something like that I don't want to talk about, because for us, like a lot of people, they don't know how it really is in America, and also what it really is to be black in America.
Or so-called African American, or whatever you want to call it these days. And I was trying to let her know that separation or segregation or whatever you want to call it these days, where I'm from, is a real thing. Even though people act like they don't see it, it's happening constantly. And one of the reasons why I left a few years back, or maybe more than a few years back, left America. The freedom here, or any other country, has been much greater and much better. You're not targeted because you look a certain way. Although, no matter where you go, you must be careful, because there's dangers everywhere you go.
But you also, you can't even just walk over the street in America at night, no?
Well, this is what I grew up to. I'm going to share this with you all out there. And this is why I like where I'm at now and where I've been. Where I don't really see any reason to return back to where I am. Because once you leave a situation that you're not aware that you're in, until you leave and you realize what you were really in, like, oh my God, I can't believe I lived through this, and not realizing what it is, and there's no way I'd go back to it. As for example, we're walking. It's nice out here, by the way. And it's nighttime, it's dark. It's a nice neighborhood. And if I were to do this where I'm from, one of the neighborhood people would call the police on me. And I'm just gonna go out and say it, like a suspicious black guy or a black man out there walking. And maybe 20 minutes later, I'm minding my business, just walking, and I'm getting a few police cars driving past me, slowly, harassing me, trying to trigger me, trying to get my my vibration to drop, somehow trying to intimidate me in a bit, so to speak. This happens in areas where, like, pretty much everywhere in America for me. But more so, like, if I were to go to some of my friends' house. Like, I have friends that live in, like, nice neighborhoods, predominantly Caucasian. And I might be walking through there, showing up. It might get later, it might be whatever time, what have you. I might be at some of their shops or stores. But I'm always targeted. They try to do it discreetly, but I'm always targeted. And a lot of us go through this to the point where, like, we get used to it. Almost like a Stockholm syndrome. And we accept it. Me, I don't know. I never accepted that. I don't like to be targeted. Just want to walk and have a good time and not worried about a police officer or anybody just harassing you because you're looking so different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you also told me that you can't even buy a house just because of the color of your skin in America. I was, like, really appalled by that.
Well, let me tell you how that works. And that is true. And I'm going to tell you directly how that works. They have the system set up to where, like, we can't really achieve anything like everyone else can. And so what they have in place is they have this credit score in place. And there's many reasons why. I can go to it in a bit. But one of the reasons why I've observed my whole entire life of living in America, in the US, is that it's so a lot of us types cannot get what everyone has, like homes, property, and this and that. As a matter of fact, most of the people that look like me are stuck in apartment complexes, whether they're condos or just some, like, ran down apartment complexes in rural areas that nobody wants to be into. And believe it or not, like, what I've done my research, the rent is much higher than these people living in these nice houses that aren't us, that are paying, like, these lower mortgages, and we're paying so much high money. And the thing is, it keeps us trapped. And I kind of understand why they do it. I feel like they're doing it because, like, segregation, basically. Segregation, separation, whatever you want to call it. I can go on and on with this.
Yeah, but it's because it's the social credit score system.
That's what I said.
That doesn't matter, like, how much money you make, you still can't buy a house. And it's like, for me, it's like really bad that it's still in this day and age that people still have to deal with this. And that's why I also want to raise awareness to it. And because I also saw like a whole diagram seeing like how much money people make, and as the black community was lower than all the um, um, other minorities like Hispanic, the Indian, like everywhere when
Asian,
they come from
everybody else.
Asian, everybody, the blacks was all the way down.
Basically,
And
the bottom of the totem pole.
yeah, and you also all you do 2-3 jobs, and I live from paycheck to paycheck. It's like I think a lot of people are not even aware of that, like how much you are like targeted just for the color of your skin, and in this day and age, it's like really.
But the good thing is they're starting to become aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of my friends, because I have mixed friends, I have people that are like from all walks of life. I don't discriminate. I'm everybody for everybody. You know what I mean? And a lot of my friends are like, they might have this wealth, they might have the privilege, and not really see it from my perspective. So before they weren't. I don't think they were really aware of what we go through. But now I think this day and age and this timeline, people are starting to become more aware of what's happening, how we're doing it. And not only that, I believe like a lot of things are happening there in America right now, to the point where like they're starting to become affected by some of the things, because you had your rich, you had your middle, and you had lower class, and like now it's been like, I feel like the game has been switched up a bit, where like you're gonna have either your rich, and then you're gonna have like everybody else at the bottom, and everybody else at the bottom, and the ones that were either middle or a bit high in the middle, that were getting it before, are going to become where we are, and now they're going to start to feel the burn and the pain. I think they're already feeling it now.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they didn't care about anybody else as long as they were good. But even the people that were good before are also not so good anymore. Like with COVID, all the entrepreneurs.
Exactly.
It was like not like, and everybody has more things that they need to pay. So it's like difficult for everybody right now. But a lot of times, like people are just like busy with themselves and not with everybody else. And I want to that everybody has the same possibilities. Doesn't matter where you live or what color your skin is.
Exactly.
And that is like it should be like that.
Well, and now the people that were just above the middle class, that were about, a bit ahead of us, are going to start to feel the burn, or already starting to feel the burn. And now they can relate. Now they see what we're going through, and now it's like, okay, now we have to do something about it. And the thing is, that's naturally normal, because now you have the majority of people that are going to start feeling the burn, when it was just us, really, mostly. But like, you need everybody to feel it, what it is, and how bad it is, in order to make that change. And now we just have to get more people to stand up and fight the system back.
And you're also not only in that way targeted with the credit system, but also with all those black guys in jail. And like you can even get jailed for not paying your child support, I heard.
Yeah,
There's nowhere else.
That's crazy, because that's a tactic used, from my perspective, to stop, because it's more of, I'm gonna say, like, it's more of like a race war when it comes to like whoever's controlling this or wants to be in that line of work. It's to, like, in other words, to not have us reproduce. It's a scam. I don't know what to call it, but it's like to try to get us to not reproduce, because whoever's running this feels like they're going to be outnumbered if we just keep reproducing. What I learned is, like, if you don't get people good jobs, if they don't have good pay, if they can't, take trips and have fun and do what everybody else gets to do, what are they going to do? They're going to stay home, and they're going to find their partners, and they're going to reproduce. Because if you can't go out, if you can't spend no money, I mean, you're gonna indulge one of your five senses. You know what I mean? You're gonna indulge in something, and then, yeah, that's what it is. And then they reproduce. So not only can you not get or purchase what you need and have fun in life, now you're left to, like, okay, I'm just gonna go to my root chakra, right? And you're just gonna do things that, like, they're gonna feed your dopamine, whether it's alcohol, food, your drugs, or your whoever you're dealing with, if you know what I'm saying.
And I think
reproducing part with this is what I'm trying to say is, like, so you were asking about the why didn't jail for child support? Well, because that becomes a problem of reproducing. If you can't go nowhere, then there's lots of reproducing going on, because everybody's bored, so that's what they're doing. Like, look at the baby boomer age with them. It's the same thing. But now it's the same thing here. It's like we're reproducing constantly, and now, now they're overpopulating. What do we do? So how do we control that? They put the child support in place. They matter of fact, the jobs, they're the ones that control the jobs. if you don't pay enough child support, you go to prison. And so now we can't afford to pay the child support, and then now they use that and they put us away because they're trying to find a way to reduce the population or to keep us from populating. And the funny thing is, like, nothing on earth besides human are the only one that gets in trouble or could get in trouble or allows anybody to get them in trouble for reproducing. Reproducing should be free for everybody. And I mean, you shouldn't have to pay your child support for reproducing. It just goes to show you how of a messed up system we're in. And you can add something, because I'm gonna close it out with saying I'm gonna let them know about the what I experienced when I left America. So I left America about like maybe 5 years ago, and let me tell you, I haven't had any desire to go back. So yeah. So with all that being said, really, if you can work from home, if you're like me or looking like me, if you don't have to be in America, if you could take a trip, get your passport, if you can get out there, you can go to different places, different countries, do your research, and you'll find that like you have been missing the world basically, and have no idea what what was out there, and what you're subjecting yourself to. When you get out, you don't have any of that that targeting, that racial profiling. That's the word I was looking for. Racial profiling. You don't really have that going on. You might have it a bit in certain countries, but it's not like it is there. Like you might have the police out there saying, "Oh, I feared for my life," and they might try to end you, if you know what I'm saying. But you don't really have that out here. Yeah, granted, you have to be careful where you go because you can be ended anywhere. But you don't have that sense of being targeted constantly. Maybe once in a great while it could happen, but you don't. I haven't experienced it but one time since I've been traveling, and I was in Spain once at the
Oh yeah, it was one
the
time.
bus station.
The one time I checked on the time of the buses, and immediately he was alone by himself, and immediately had the police over him.
Yeah, the police was on me.
That was crazy, but it turned out well. But I was really angry. It was like, what?
Yeah, you were more upset than I was.
Because I studied law, and they can only ask people for information when you're actually did something wrong or have the suspicion that you did something wrong. You can't just ask anybody just anything, and I know that. So I told them, and they were like, no, you're in Spain, it's different. No, I know the law, and they're everywhere the same. They can only ask you for your information when there's a suspicion that you did something wrong. They can't just like, because you have a different color, ask you all sorts of things.
Definitely should explain more too about the situation. So I encourage, like, if you look like me and you can get out and you can travel, just do it and see the world for what it is. Do your research, be careful. You'll feel a difference. Like, you don't know how bad it is because you're living there. But I didn't know either until I did know, because I didn't like being harassed that way. But once I got out, I really got to see how the world really operates. I'm like, what are we doing? What am I doing stuck here in this world? I mean, in that corporation. I'm like, let me get out of here. And I haven't had a desire to go back. It's almost 5 years since I left. And I'm having a great life. I mean, it's granted it's tough, it's difficult, it's hard, because like you got to find a way to make it. You know what I'm saying? But and it's a struggle. But you know, it's worth the freedom. I mean, it's worth the feeling that I'm having.
Yes.
Than having a job in America and struggling and not being able to buy a house, even though I'm making so much money there, because of the stupid credit system. And being targeted by police. I can't walk at nighttime because I ran into a police officer driving by me. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm taking a walk. What do you mean, what am I doing? Walking at nighttime, trying to get my exercise on because it's too busy during the day. Cars are running rampant on the road, right? So I choose to walk at night. Good thing I had a flashlight with me. I think the cop probably would have took me out if he didn't see my face, you know what I mean? But I don't have to deal with that here. I mean, it can happen. But
so only when you go away out of your own place, you find out how it is different in other places, and you find out it might be even better than where you come from. But also know that we travel to lots of different countries. We just want to help people. We raise awareness, but we also help people with the traveling. So if you ever want to travel and want some help with finding places where to stay, and then flights and stuff, and also even packages and all sorts of things, look, you can always contact us. So that was this video. So thank you all for listening to us.
Yeah, Forever Awesome in the house. We're gonna post more interesting videos.
And about everything, like whatever we think we want to share. And this one was about you.
So personal, but I feel like people should hear it, because not everything is like rainbows and sunshine. You just have to be careful where you go. So with that being said, keep that in mind. Keep your wits about you. Be smart. Research stay strong, stay alert, but no fear mongering. Okay, so love, light, peace, power, and happiness to everybody out there.
Bye bye.
See you next time in the next video.